Hello, good afternoon. So the title of the talk is Domain Adaptation and Display Advertising. I'm Pranjal, I'm a research scientist at Criteo. This is a joint work with Karan, who's an intern at Criteo, who's from University of Minnesota, as well as with Kirti Selvaraj, who's a scientist at Criteo as well. The goal of this talk is to actually, identify new ways in which we can transfer knowledge. By knowledge, I mean a model or instance weight from a domain which is rich in data to a domain which is very scarce in data. The problem we would be dealing is usually the p-click problem, which is whether the user is going to click on an ad given a display has been. A little background about the domains. By retargeting, I'm referred to as my source domain, where we have lots of user information. In this domain, typically the user is aware of the partner, the user has seen partner advertisements in the past as well. In other words, what we can say is that the user-partner affinity is kind of known to us. The target domain in our case is prospecting, where the user is actually not aware of the partner at all. So in the illustrative figure as shown, you can see that the user actually over time has seen partner A and partner C. But when we want to display the advertisements of a particular partner B to this user, we have no idea, or we have no way to actually compute the user-partner affinity a priori and time. Okay, so the motivation then is how can we use data from a domain which is very rich, retargeting, where we have lots of information, where we have information about the partner, its interests, its affinities towards the user, as well as the user interest and the user bias, to a domain where we have no information. Specifically, we have no information about the affinities between the user and the partner. Comparing this to a traditional recommender systems, we can assume that a partner can be represented as a group of items, or the items which the partner is interested in selling as well. The focus in our work is mostly on the cold start scenario, where we don't have any information about the partner in the prospecting domain or in the target domain. We will demonstrate techniques using subdomain similarities, and by subdomain similarities I refer to similarities within the partner at the level of categories, because the partner usually sells products and those products can be actually mapped to certain categories. So moving on, giving you a little bit background information about the domain adaptation techniques. The first basic techniques is we can refer to as scenarios where we actually build a model on source domains and we transfer those models on the target domain. This is analogous to those Bayesian techniques where you compute the posterior on the source domain and use the posterior coefficients as their priors in the target domain. These techniques would work very well if the distribution between the source and the target domain is kind of similar. These techniques might backfire in scenarios where we have leaky features, that is, features which are available in the source domain, but those features no more exist in the target domain. To overcome those potential issues, we move to training, joint training, where the data from the source and the target is used simultaneously. So the first technique which we're using as a baseline would be DAN. DAN is domain adversarial neural networks, where the goal is to actually transfer the source domain and the target domain into a common subspace. And the goal is here is that in the common subspace, the domain information is lost, that in the projected common subspace, we are no more able to identify whether this data comes from the source or the target. So in these kind of techniques, we have two loss functions. One is the classification loss and one is the adversarial loss. The classification loss still makes sure that we are able to compute our objective, which is whether the user is going to click on the ad given the display was made, and the adversarial loss makes sure that we are able to no more identify whether this data comes from the source or the target domain. Right? And the way the training is done is using a min-max procedure. Another technique which is kind of very similar to DAN is known as CCSA, which is classification and contrastive semantic alignment. The advantage here with this techniques as compared to DANs is the fact that these techniques also takes into account the supervised nature of the label, because we are also aware of the label information in the source domain, whether the click was made or not. Little caveat with these techniques is their ability to do pairwise training, which might be very complex considering the amount of data we need to handle. So proposed techniques, the supervised DAN, it is again again consists of, we start with these two basic loss functions. One is the classification loss, one is the adversarial loss. In our case, since we only have two domains, source and a target, we convert the softmax to a sigmoid loss. We also do class-wise, we also use the class signals in our adversarial loss as well. And by class, I mean again whether the click happens or the click did not happen. And using the subdomain similarities, we also use the parameter alpha, and alpha is computed between the cosine similarities of the partner data we have and the partner of interest for which we are trying to compute the models. And alpha is a cosine similarity, and between the two vectors, the vector represents the category level information. Since the goal in our the metrics what we use usually depends upon AUC or precision at the rate K. Then what we also identify is that better way, since we want to optimize those metrics, a better way is to actually optimize directly the ranking loss kind of objective, because eventually AUC is kind of very, when you optimize AUC, it is similar to optimizing the ranking loss, pairwise ranking loss. So we also develop techniques which is known as SDA ranking, but the goal here in this case is that we want to make sure the ranking between the source positives and the target is equal to the target positives. By positives I mean implied click, which is greater than the source negatives or the target negatives. Our experiments, in our experimental section, we will discuss the results on a cold start, where we have no data about the partner on the prospecting domain. We will discuss results about the effect of amount of retargeting data we can use for the cold start problem, and the steady state results, that when we have a significant amount of data in the prospecting or in the target domain, how do these methods compare? Our metrics is, the first metric we would be interested in is in the mean AUC, which is the AUC log curve across all the partners. The second metric is going to be the median AUC, just to overcome the fact of outliers, because some certain partners might have very skewed CTR ratio, so these mean AUC might not be the correct estimate. And the third metric is mean precision at the rate K, which is the ratio between the true positives, the ratio of the true positives among the total predicted top K users. So this metric is kind of way more interesting and important than traditional AUC metrics, is the fact that typically AUC is more like a micro averaging over all the users. Usually what we are more interested in is in the early part of the AUC metric, that is where the fast recall happens, or in the lower thresholds of FPR values. So an analogous metric in the case of a PU learning might be truncated AUCs. In our case, since it's a PN learning, we are more interested in the precision at the rate K values. The results for the partner CoStart are as follows. What we observe over here is the takeaway messages are the performance of SDA DAM is actually better than all the other methods, and this can be attributed to the use of the supervised labels during training, as well as the subdomain similarities. The supervised methods typically perform better than the unsupervised methods, and again this can be attributed to the presence of the class labels, whether the click or not click happens during the training regime. And the performance of these methods is actually better than using just plain prospecting data or just using a Bayesian analog. And this can be attributed to the fact that when we are actually projecting these domains into a common source space, we try to eliminate the notion of leaky features. Here are the results of mean precision at the rate K values. So we have two graphs. The graph on the right hand side actually demonstrates for low CTR partners, and what we do observe over here is that the methods like SDA ranking and CCSA are doing a bit better job, because they're able to actually identify new contrasting pairs, pushing the positives way higher than the negatives. But as you move, when we have more data, especially the more positives, what we see over here is that our SDA DAM is able to perform a bit better, and this is because of subdomain similarities as well as the class-wise information. These are the results of the steady state, and the major difference between these results of the steady state as compared to the results of the CoStart is the major difference is only in the prospecting only scenarios, because now we have prospecting data during the training as well, as compared to the earlier scenarios where we don't have the prospecting data. And the major gain in prospecting only methods is because of that the presence of additional data. There is no more significant change in the performance of the other methods because those other methods were able to actually compute the affinity between the user and the partner from the other source domain data or the retargeting. The key takeaways is this is the first study where we have used domain adaptation techniques to transfer knowledge from one domain, in our case retargeting, to another domain, a target domain, in our case is prospecting. Specifically for the use case of cold start problems or cold start scenarios where we have no data available for user recommendation for a partner. We have also added class-wise information as along with partner level similarity to compute these or to propose those novel methods. What we also observe is that SDA ranking typically performs a bit better than all the other methods, specifically for high CTR partners. SDA ranking does the job as well, specifically better for low CTR partners. Thank you.